After beveling all the outer edges, we also need to bevel these inner 3 boxes. Right now when we are hitting 3, you can see they completely lose their shape. If I turn off wireframe here, this is a shortcut for wireframe on shaded, you can see they don't stay rectangle anymore. So how are we going to bevel this one? So let's hit 1 and start with the beveling this. So I'm going to turn on the wireframe back so you can see what I'm doing in here. So I'm going to start by selecting these corners. Now again, we can still do only one side and then duplicate over. So let's choose that, and I'm going to go right in here and in the edge mode. So select that edge and hit F. When you hit F, it brings focus around that object. You can rotate from that point. I'm going to double click on this. Then I'm going to hold shift and double click on this. Double click on that. Pretty much all this corner till the center. And so on. I'm going to do on this side as well. Right here. Not the center line. Right here. This one, and last selection would be this one over here. Alright, so once this are all selected, and let's go and hit bevel so we can round these corners up. Bevel and segment set to maybe 2 should be good enough, because these things, they don't have that much roundness, but just about that, maybe around here 0.5 is good by default. Alright, so now we got all these corners rounded up. We don't need to do on this side because that's where we can mirror this. And I'm also noticing this area is not too deep in the reference image. So I'm going to grab this and hit W and pull this one up. And kind of like really less. There we go. Alright, now let's fix those remaining open edges. And then we will do the bevel again to these. I'm going to grab these two and hit F just so that this area can come in focus. Alright, to fix those, select the object, hit multi-cut, and going to go back in here and grab this and have it connected with this one. Done. And same thing on this side, from here to here, enter. Now I'm going to do something similar over here as well, like starting from this corner. So basically we are getting rid of any polygon that has more than 4 sides. So by adding this line, it automatically connects those. Okay, the other side didn't get selected somehow. So let's finish this one first. Grabbing this and that, enter, and so on. This one and this one. Sometimes it's hard to select if it's too long of the distance, but it's still doable. So selecting, let's say I'm going to go close a bit and carefully select on the lower one, and then go holding Alt. I'm going to keep moving by panning, and now click on the lower on this. There you go. Enter. I got the wrong one when I zoomed in. So right in here, selecting that one, and then moving, selecting the correct one over here. Okay. Somehow distance is a little too much. Okay, let's do here, make a stop, and then there, enter. Okay, we'll straighten that up a bit. So this is done, both sides. Now this last one is left for this side, and then we are good to bevel this inner sides. I'm gonna do this stop in between, and then from there you can do those small. All right, so now it's all done. Okay, now it's time to bevel them so we can duplicate this over. Now the next part is go into edges and grab this upper edge. Double click on it, it's going to grab all of it, and so as this one as well, both of these. Now take a look at how those edges look like. I'm going to go closer to those. Now see, they are very sharp underneath, but on the top they are kind of rounded up. like they're almost like rounding up on the tops. So that's what we're going to do right in here. So I'm going to grab this and hit bevel right up here, or from here, it's the same button, and then segments 2, and that should do it. So let's increase this a little bit more and go back to the object mode. I'm going to turn off the wireframe. The best way is to hit 3. That will show you exactly how they look like. Now see, this one we haven't copied yet, that's why, but we got from here to the square shapes. Edit, delete by type history, and now we are mirroring from X. So mesh, mirror, and X negative. It's good. Apply. Now as soon as you do, you can already see both sides are fixed. Now we don't have many lines going in the middle here. See, there's all I'm talking about the edge loops. We don't have any edge loop here. So it's good to have model to have consistent edge loops. I'm going to go into top view. There's another way to add this edge loop. Select an object, click on multi-cut, go off the model, this time not holding control, off the model, straight away draw a line and release it. And that's going to make that cut all the way through. Although it's not in the center, but it has made that cut. Now how do we bring it to the center? Now to bring it to the center, select vertex, grab all that line. Now this line could move in z-axis. Now if I turn grid on, that is this button right here, see, now it's a little bit off from the grid. Now I can go into the second button. So I'm in modeling here. So you will see this thing closed up is something like this over here. So if I click on that, it's going to expand it. And there's X, Y, and Z section. Now if I go into Z and type in 0 and enter, that will bring all the selected vertices onto the center line. Look at that. So it's right in there. Okay, so this is good. Now grabbing this edge loop entirely, and if I bevel it, that will split this into 2 or 3 based on like how many you want you can add. Maybe I'll add just let's say 4 instead. Here we go. That's it. So now going back into object mode, selecting, hitting 3, and I'm going to turn off the wireframe and this, and turn off the grid as well. Now looking at it, red section is completely done. Now next time we are going to be moving on to railing for wagon.